Yeah, I think we're probably gonna need you to sit in, Joe. We have someone missing.
You got the list?
I do. Trying to remember who I know.
Maybe so.
Give that recorder over.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And Jenny wanted me to give it to you, Lou.
Because we're right on the minutes now. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. Just don't push the button. You can break out singing if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to go.
Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order at 6:30. And if everyone will state your name, please.
My name's Thomas Clayton.
Lee Rathburn.
Ed Monroe.
Jack Edges.
Patty Boland. Everyone who's here to give testimony, you have to swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. We're here because we have a variance application from Tom Sorp. He wants to give 10 acres to his daughter, but there's no road frontage. And according to the zoning resolution in the agricultural district, we need 250 foot of road frontage to divide a parcel of land. And the application on page 2, Bethany gives her reasons why we need a variance. Would you like to tell us, Bethany, why the basic is that here?
I need a red easement right away. The land has cropland in front, and there's an old logging road that goes between the fields. And where we were wanting to put a house is on strip mine land that is not farmable. It just grows like shrubby grass stuff. We don't want to take profitable farmland from mom and dad, so we are gonna build up on the hill, which is up in the strip mine land.
Why are you gonna go there?
Because I work on the farm too, so we were wanting to like be, close to mom and dad. They're just on where I don't know if you guys are familiar with where the farm's at or not, but and I want my kids to grow up on the farm, and it's a necessity to be right there by the farm instead of, an hour away and have to drive in to go to work, or, just be part of the farm. We're a family farm, and that's why it's important.
And Jimmy did give everyone a copy of the ag district regulations.
There's a driveway there now. You have to go through that driveway in order to get up into where you're going to build that?
Yeah, the driveway leads to that,
You'll have a right of way through there?
yeah. And that would be in the,
It'll be in the deed, yeah.
So the right of way will be in the deed that they have right of way to use that?
yeah.
Yes.
Anybody that owns that property will be, just in case you decide to sell it,
Well, it'll never be sold.
well, I don't say never, but,
Yeah,
so in other words, if you happen to sell it, something happens, that right of way will be in the deed, or the next owner?
yeah, we're in the
How wide is it gonna be? How wide is it gonna be back through there?
How wide?
The right of way.
Like how long to get to the
No,
place?
wide.
Why?
Yeah,
How
wide.
wide?
I don't know, it's a drive, so a
Well,
driveway with,
It's a
5
combine
feet
can
on
walk,
each
I mean,
side,
it's as
yeah.
wide as a combine,
yeah.
or it's a combine.
We got rooms out here nowadays messed up like this, and 50 years down the road, somebody buys that, and that there goes out of business. It's not wide enough.
Well, yeah, it's not a road, it's a drive, it's an easement.
If somebody else buys it, they start a housing addition back there, you got a narrow road right in the middle.
Yeah,
You're
it's not-
thinking your head will never be sold, you don't know that.
Not supposed to be looking at that. You're
What?
not supposed to be looking far into the future, you're looking at the needs of the resident.
Oh, no.
No, we're looking
They're
down
not
the road.
selling their farm.
We don't care. 50 years down the road makes a big difference.
About 50 that you can
50
easily
years
get.
down the road, their kids are gonna be working the farm.
Maybe.
Their grandchildren will be
Maybe.
working the farm.
Maybe, Bart. We don't know that.
But you
We don't know if we're gonna
gonna
be here in 50
I
years.
know I won't be.
So the what ifs isn't working.
You gotta have room for cars to go down through there, you gotta have
Do you
people.
guys have the photo of what was drawn up by the planning commission? I know Patty has it, do you guys
Well,
have it?
here, yeah, everyone does,
On the back page.
yeah,
Doesn't give them
yeah.
any dimensions.
Also, you're aware ODOT already approved the drive.
Did they tell you 20 feet on that drive?
They got,
Combine.
I don't know.
20 feet's not wide enough for the combine.
When I talked to Brad Mercer, he said we have to make sure it's at least 20 foot wide.
That's a minimum?
Yeah.
A car, not pulling a trailer, is not wide, it's just about 20 feet.
How,
20 feet's a culvert, Patty. I'm out there
I just-
working them every day and they
Yeah.
smash it. If we don't put in 40 feet of culvert, you're smashing the ends right off.
How wide it's to be. You don't, right now, you don't know because planning
You
hasn't
need
told
40
us.
foot, you need at least 40 foot, of 50 foot of right of way.
So do we have a call on that, or is that ODOT?
The,
we can grant a variance with conditions.
right, the conditions.
Yeah.
But it hasn't gone to planning yet, so planning can't tell them, we
Right.
want 30 feet, we
Right.
want 20. They have to come through you before
Oh,
Right.
they can go there.
Yeah.
all right.
We tell them what we want.
Yeah, because planning has to, we have to approve a variance before planning can do anything.
You're making it in there, you got it right over there on,
Open Woods?
uh-huh,
You think on Open Woods or
no, Cooper Rider.
Cooper Rider?
You start out with 30 feet. You got 17 houses back there now. The farm is never gonna be sold. Now you go up through there, 2 cars can't pass. And we can't put ditches in because there's fence on each side. You get back there where they extended the road, it's 80 foot, or 60,
You're looking at a
62
potential,
62 foot wide.
you're looking at a potential subdivision. They're asking for access back to her house, not a
That's probably what they was
subdivision.
asking for back there, Barb, 50 years ago too.
And then somebody screwed up when it got sold and everything was changed. That's not what they're asking
No,
for.
I'm going to
You're,
get,
you're going by a subdivision that's not what they're asking for.
That's
They're
right.
asking for access to 10 acres.
how many farms have been sold here now?
That's
they're
not
going
the
to
point.
subdivision? Yes, it
That's
is.
not what we're here for.
We're here to look at the future, when the road goes in, so we can take care of it.
So the standard's 20 feet now?
This is being recorded, just remember this.
Minimum. Is that what, one car, one lane road?
Oh, that's what they're wanting, 1 lane road, 20 foot wide.
A driveway.
Concrete. Okay, you take a 20 foot road, put a ditch on each side, what do you got?
We don't have a ditch, it's a cornfield. That's
I don't
field.
care what you got, you 20 foot road and you put ditches on there, you cut that road down to less than 15 feet, 2 cars can't pass it.
That's not what they're asking for. They're not putting ditches in because they farm it. All the farm equipment goes directly across it. They can't put a ditch in it. It's going right across it because they're farming. They're gaining access straight through the farmland.
So the 10 acres, how big a drive, how long a driveway's it gonna be?
It's like 1,800 feet,
1,800 feet, okay.
roughly.
Back to where you'll have the home?
Yeah, that's to the house.
Okay. And by looking at your home, it's gonna be right close to the, this is your 10 acres here.
Yeah, we're gonna get 5 acres of,
This is where your home's gonna be up, this part up front. This is gonna be 1,800 feet this way.
yeah, that goes, yeah, directly to the house.
All right, okay. And the 1,800 feet, that property belongs to your mom?
Yeah, my mom and dad.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
then you're just getting 20 foot or 30 foot of right of way, is that what we're talking, back to the 100 foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, yeah.
It's, what they're doing is creating a flag lot, FLAGLOT, which is like just a right of way back through the property. And I think if anyone tried to change that right of way, Jack, that we would have to, they would have to come in front of us again to put a development or anything back there at any time in the future.
If they
Yeah,
change
would
it
it?
anyway.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Correct.
It's that.
Yeah, I don't think it's something that,
They can develop on their own without having permission from the zoning board, right?
No, they cannot develop
That's
any
right.
of that on their own. That is just an access, it is not a road.
Right.
If you created a road, different story. It's not a road, it's an access.
Well,
it's an easement,
Easement,
basically.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just an
an
access,
easement,
well, I'm
yeah.
calling access for them to get back to their
right,
house.
it's a, technically it is a road, but it's an
Right.
access road just
It's
for
a
that.
drive, it's
It's a
basically,
driveway. It's a
Very
lane.
large driveway.
which I think
A
is
very
fine.
large driveway is not 15 feet, 20 feet far.
It's 180 feet. This is a very
Why?
large driveway.
What are you talking about? She
Oh.
just said 1,800 feet.
1,800 feet, isn't that correct?
Yeah.
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 That's more than.
From 668 back to the property. If they wanted to build off of that easement access, they have to come to you because they can't, they gotta split more land. It's not gonna happen. Because it's farmland, first of all.
Right.
Benji's got one out there right now where his farm is, and it's too narrow,
And
actually.
it's not in our township.
Then we can put the culvert in, let us put the culvert in.
It's already in.
It's
Oh, it's
already
already
in,
in?
it's
Oh.
already
Yeah,
in. It's a
actually
usable-
road's
it's a
already-
usable-
Roadhouse.
Right.
Yeah,
We're using it.
yeah, it's a logging road, but,
There's a coal mine road.
a coal mine road, oh, okay, I thought it was logging,
Well,
sorry.
they
Let's-
logged it too, they use
Okay,
it
so
for
both
that.
roads again.
So how big is the culvert, how long is the culvert?
Licking County put that culvert in on 668.
Is it about 20 feet, is it, or
I don't know, whatever their legal
something like
culvert
that?
is, something. It's bigger than ours, isn't it?
Why did Lincoln County put it in when that's a state highway?
Because they're the ones that said ODOT, is not Licking, ODOT put it in.
Yeah.
That's
They're the
state-
ones that
that's
set it
a
up and
state.
established it. And it's been
The
approved.
semis and stuff come out, it's more than 20 feet.
Yeah. It's whatever they put out there.
Yeah,
I don't know
not
those
one about it.
sizes.
The coal trucks come in and out of there.
Used to,
Hmm?
used to come in.
Used to, yeah.
So, actually, no matter what, the culvert's only 25 feet, we'll say, wide. If you put a 40-foot drive, you still ain't got 25
Right.
foot at the end.
Right.
But you got room to widen and work on it if you have to. But if you had a.
But again, it's not a road.
But if you had a.
It's a drive.
Right.
How wide your road? Your road?
Oh, it's double car, two car lengths. Well, it's not two car lengths, it's a little, a little
I
down.
mean, you got the ditches on each side.
Yeah, it's probably 25 feet.
It's probably about 35,
Like,
40.
yeah, it could be. I know later.
I know what you're getting at, because it's the same way on open woods. You can't get two cars in unless you go far off to the right.
I guess my idea was that the culvert's only 20 feet, if you put a 40-foot wide driveway, you still only got 20 feet coming
I
in.
looked at
Yeah.
numbers on 40 feet. I don't know, because they run in mine equipment in and out of there. When it's stripped.
Just put it in, I think, yeah.
But they're basically asking for a driveway back through farmland to get to
I agree
unusable.
with you, Patty, that's basically what
Yeah.
they're asking for. But 40, 50 years down the road, and somebody buys a farm besides them, and then they build 2 or 3 houses back there, and they can take, the township has to take it,
Well, but they
and then what are you
still,
gonna do?
they still would have to come to the variance board
That's
to
right.
ask for, they can't do anything, no matter who buys it at any time,
Without approval.
without coming to the variance board to get it done. Like they couldn't divide that piece of property and build another house on
Unless
it
you go down and
without
start
coming
taking
here.
land away from rights, you're gonna find out something. Because that's,
But we're not talking about the rights, we're talking about the source, and we're talking about access
Yeah,
to the property that they're requesting.
we're here now to talk about the future part.
well,
No, we're here talking about what they want.
as long as we're protected.
Yes,
You gotta
That's what I
protect,
need to know.
protect
If
the,
somebody wanted to develop that later,
right.
They would still
heaven
have to
forbid
come
something
back.
happened, they'd have to come to
Yeah.
the board to get approval
Yeah,
for all that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, because this, number one, this is the agricultural district, and so there's, like, the least they can put is 5 acres. So they have 10 acres, they could divide it in half, but they still have to come to us to divide, to do that
Right, that's
because of the way it's set up, so.
So as long as we're protected, I don't have
Yeah.
a problem. As long as we're
yeah,
covered.
no matter what, it's protected. No,
That's
nobody
all-
else can
that's
build
all-
on that.
That's all I need to
Yeah.
have covered. Cause I don't want to end up like Jack said, down the line, they could develop behind our back and then we're in a mess.
No, that won't happen.
As long as we're protected.
Cannot do
Okay.
it.
All right, Dawn.
Yeah, no matter what, in the future, they still would have to come to variance to get anything done on that. You know, even if they decide to sell the entire farm and subdivide it into a subdivision, then they would have to change the agricultural zoning.
Right.
What you're saying is right. But what if somebody they do sell the whole farm, your kids, somebody comes in and buys it, what are they gonna do with a little right of way if they wanna take stuff back in there?
It's in the deed.
Yeah,
Then they're screwed.
Well,
No,
no, because
They're not
whoever
screwed, it's in
buys
the
that
deed.
land, it's in the deed.
it's in the deed.
They
The-
got the right of
The
way,
easement is
but
there.
it's only so wide.
right.
Yeah,
And if I own this and you own that, and I don't want them over here, you don't want them over here, they're still stuck with a little right of way.
it's their right of way. It's their entrance in and
It's
out.
still there, Barb.
It
But
doesn't
it's-
matter.
but it still just goes back to that one piece of property that is separate from these two fields. No matter who owns it, even in the future, even if there's houses built here, it's still a driveway back to that house.
Correct, it doesn't matter if somebody bought this side and somebody bought this side. That easement is to their property back there. Nobody
Who cares
can
about
build off that
I'm talking about
easement.
it's wide, wide.
But
See,
why? What is the purpose of the
Why is he
width?
working-
Nobody can build off of that easement.
No, but there's somebody coming back there, and there's 2 cars, what are they gonna do?
That's their problem.
That's the people.
If they run into the farmland, then I guess one of the trucks gonna
No,
come and
I'm
pull
not
them
talking
out.
about that, I'm talking about down the road when I go in there and buy it.
Then that's your problem.
That's my problem, man.
But they're
And I
not
gotta come back
selling
here and go
it.
through all this here.
Yeah.
No, they're not
Because
selling
we
it.
sat here today and let them build.
They have to go by the planning commission's rules on the access back, on the width and everything.
Well, let's say we take a look, I vote no.
Which is moving 40 feet, right?
40, 20,
20 feet,
yeah.
right? Could you guys go and do it right away there? Do you have room to go with 40 foot?
Well, then we're taking
Without-
cropland.
Well,
Right, but that doesn't mean they can't still farm that.
If we have gravel on it, you can't.
You
No,
don't-
no,
you
no,
don't-
he's just saying,
You don't have to grab the whole 40 feet.
yeah,
Yeah, they can
just,
still
But
farm it.
is ODOT gonna put another culvert in?
It's
How about-
about the 2 sticks in there, which is 40 feet. I don't know, but I'm guessing.
Because that's what it needs to be found out though, because ODOT's the one that put that in and made it an approved drive, the entrance.
I think what he was trying to do is down the line, just in case, that Jack said they needed extra foot, it's there, but we don't have to use it
back
now.
here to do
But,
it.
It's
What
there.
makes the difference?
If you don't use it, you don't use it.
but
So-
you're hindering them and taking, of course, farm.
No, you don't touch that. You just think what it is, you need 20 foot right now. We'll say 10 years from now, you need another 20 foot, heaven forbid, whatever reason, it's there, easement is there, you can use it. Meanwhile, if you never use it, you farm that.
But not if land sold further down.
Okay, if you sold the property down the line, you're not gonna be there.
I plan on being there forever.
Well, I'm
But
saying.
you're
if you
still
sold
doing the
it.
iffy thing. You're asking them to put in a two-way road
No. Ben
for 2
said-
cars to go up and
No,
down.
Ben says, just have the right of way there, right, Ben?
It was just suggestions, I mean, you can have a 1,000 foot right away there, you don't grab
Use
that.
20
You're not
foot.
supposed to talk to them, actually.
I'm just 20 foot of it. Just have the other, just in case. That's what we're thinking.
But if you guys don't want that, and you would want a 20 foot deed right away, then that's adjustable.
I just want we
Then you
don't
can
get
give it to
back.
I think it's gotta go by
let
planning.
them
what
maintain it
planning
for you,
says
put
goes
paved
back
road back there. Ain't
It
that
probably
right?
will come to that someday, when, 3 houses now, you have to put a road back in.
Well, and I don't understand why you guys sold me my property, because someday, 50 years down the road, I can have all kinds of crap back there. Why is anybody selling any property out here, or getting any builds, because this could happen in the future?
It's gonna happen, you know it, you're talking about a housing development coming in.
So what is your objective? To stop growth in Bowling Green? To
Farm
not allow
houses ain't
humans
making-
to
Houses.
to
is not
reproduce?
making- Houses is not making no money for the township.
How is a house not making money for a township?
But
They gotta pay
I
property
understand what Ben
taxes.
says.
They had to
You
go
have
to
a 40
school
foot
for
right
about
away, but
20,
you-
30
then 10
Still
years
not
from
the
now,
point.
you need
You're
that.
hindering the
You
residents.
just want to
yeah,
argue,
it's
Barb.
just, it's
No,
just a
you
driveway.
are. You're hindering residents.
No, I'm not.
Over a driveway.
Frontage and
But also,
That's
like you said, if you ever want to develop it, they have to go through the zoning board, appeals, to get that developed. And then you can stipulate how and why it has to be. As long as it's protected, we're protected.
yeah.
You got that narrow right of way, they're protected with that narrow right of way, that's already passed. Busy came up, but he gotta buy property off them people to widen his, they ain't gonna sell.
Who are we talking about?
It's not in Bowling Green Township, what he's talking about.
We got roads up there.
So it's irrelevant.
One road in up there, and they made them put two in, off of, what is that road up there, goes down to, Mount Hope. They try to use one road.
It's a road.
You guys
It's not an easement.
You want them all the way to the edge of the driveway.
Do you want
We do,
to
we
put
do.
stipulations
Oh,
on
there's,
it?
yeah,
Like how
there's
wide
There's
to
like
make
5
it right
feet.
away?
I think it should be 20 feet.
I mean, what do you think, Dave?
Well, it ought to be at least 20 feet. And I see no reason to even fool with being 40 feet that's out there in nowhere. What the hell are they gonna do with it? What we're doing is just ridiculous. What he's argued about is totally, if you want to get into something like this here, your township, give it to the township. Give that whole driveway back to the township. That way they have to maintain it. That way they gotta put a paved road back there, run your culverts and everything. This happened to me, I know what I'm talking about. Right here, this is where it happened. They said, well, I only got 12, 15 feet. Driveway going back 700 and some feet. They said, you give us enough property to make a 22-foot driveway here, and we'll maintain it and make us a road. I ain't giving them nothing, that was going back to my neighbor. I don't have much respect for this. Most of it's silliness.
Did you have any thoughts, Thomas?
I was thinking, is it possible to pick up the culvert afterwards, even if it is 20? No?
Culvert, I think is pretty firm there.
See what 20 feet is? See that white road line, clear on the side of the road, and the one over here has 10 feet for each one to drive. It runs down this street. That's only 20 feet. I can't get a combine down that damn street? That's what I'm saying, this is all stupid to me. This is stupid to me. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you can drive back there in your driveway. Yeah, I'm going back to it. Build back there, if you get a permit to do it. That's your biggest thing.
Yeah, the planning commission has to approve it if you
Right.
approve it.
Yeah.
So there still is another step.
Yeah, they can't do anything until we give them the variance to go
That's
to the
right.
planning board and,
It's got a lot to go
and then
through.
they've got, yeah, then they've got to go through the entire planning commission thing and,
Which they've actually already gone through that process, which has been pre-approved, because everything that they discussed with them, and the planning commission did the layout already, because of the size and everything, and they didn't tell us size. They go by that culvert that's put in by ODOT.
I think we should go to the measurement of it, see how wide it is. I think it's more than 12 feet.
Do you have any other thoughts, anybody have any other?
Well, what we think, we're gonna vote for it, say or what?
As far as I'm concerned, Thomas. Well, oh, I guess we need a motion. I can't believe it's something we have a motion.
Make a
on.
motion to vote on it, passes or don't.
Does someone want to make a motion to grant the variance or not grant the variance?
I make a motion that we got it, granted. That we do.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote. Thomas,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
So,
Patty, yes. Okay, the variance is granted, excuse me, and it can go forward to the planning commission. Okay, and motion to adjourn the meeting?
a motion to adjourn.
And separate. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for attending.
Ms. Boland, do you have any idea how long it would take for the letter of approval?
I don't, Jenny will do the minutes, soon
And
as
she'll write up the letter of approval? Okay.
Where do you want this?
You can take those with you.
You read
Take the, you want to call Jen to, so when the letter is
it.
ready.
When you read
Because then we take the letter to the planning commission, and they've got to go through all the steps. Everything we went through, now they're gonna make a
Seems like
decision.
it is.
And then they'll have a
Yeah,
meeting.
that's what we need to know.
Right.
He only gave me a schedule through 2014.
Okay.
Then
Oh,
we
it,
come here for
the
another
letter,
variance,
she should have the letter.
And then
to
there's
us
more
in
easement for-
less than 1 day, so we should-
right? That sounds good.
so we can, because I know you guys want to get started.
I know, he.
In the night.
So I'll call Jenny and ask her as soon as, because she just types it out, Patty's got to sign it, and then.
Don't you get me?
What's that?
Don't you get me?
Oh, I was hoping I didn't.
Jack, do. You make a- No, he did.